Back, everyone, to another episode of Storytime with Mikey, the next chapter. This is episode 3 of my sequel series to my original Storytime series. And for today's episode, I want to talk about my grandmother again. Because since my dog died, I've been feeling a lot of anger, a lot of frustration about something that transpired the day that happened. Because as we all know, losing a pet is, in and of itself, extremely stressful. Especially when you've had that pet for almost 12 years. This would have been his 12th year of me having him. So, when what happened, you can understand my frustration. And allow me to demonstrate. As everyone knows, I had him cremated because I tend to move from place to place, and I couldn't bear to have him buried someplace that I knew I wouldn't be at forever. So I made the decision to have him cremated so I could always have him with me, at least in a certain way. And it cost $214 to have this done. I think it's an outrageous amount to have to pay in order to keep your pets in your home. And I have a very rocky relationship with my grandmother, as everyone knows from the other episodes of the other show like this that I did. But I will always try to maintain a civil, or at least somewhat civil, relationship with her over the last few years. But on the day that I had to have him put down, and that I had to decide that this is what I needed to happen after the fact, I asked her a simple favor. Would you help me pay to have him cremated? Would you help me pay for his cremation so I don't have to lose him again? And she tried to guilt trip me for one, having him put down. She tried to tell me that I was in the wrong, that I was killing my dog. And then she tried to say, what if it was you that was sick? Would you want your own mother to put you down? That is not the same thing. My dog was already dying. He had a condition that was killing him. There was nothing I could do. I couldn't afford to pay for the surgery that would be needed to save his life. And for the fact that he was going to be 12 years old this year, he was too old for the surgery anyway. Even if I could afford it, the surgery itself would have killed him. And I'm on the phone begging her to help me pay to have this done and to pay for the euthanization. Something that I really didn't want to do, but I knew that I had to. My own mother can tell you I was in the room with the vet begging for some way to avoid this because I didn't want to lose my boy. And she's on the phone in the car going to the emergency vet hospital saying that I'm killing my dog, that I'm killing what is basically my son. And then she makes me feel worse by saying that I'm going to have him burned just because she doesn't believe in cremation. Now, in my opinion, if a grandson is losing his dog and he's asking his grandmother to help him, she can at least just say, no, I would love to help you. I don't believe in cremation. I'm so sorry, but I just can't bring myself to do that. She also would have not tried to guilt trip me into taking him back home so he could die a painful, slow death. They could have taken hours, days, weeks of him in pain and having trouble breathing. My grandmother is the reason, and I have to give credit where credit is due, that I became a published writer. That all of my books that I've written have the type of poetry that they do, and new poems. Because they're all because she is the reason I have so horribly depressed. The physical and verbal abuse I was subjected to is the reason why I now have horrible depression and why I have constant horrible thoughts in my head. And on a day where I had to put him down and tell them that I wanted and had to have them send his remains to a crematorium, and I had to struggle to pay for my boy to come back to me, to pay to have him put out of his misery because he was in so much fucking pain. And she has the nerve to tell me that I'm killing him when he's already fucking dying in my arms. On top of the fact that almost 5 years ago exactly, because this will be the 5th fucking year, I lost my best friend in my arms. A friend I'd had since elementary school. 2 living beings that I cared so much for dying in my arms. I'm already fucked up. She continued to make me feel even worse about myself and about what I was doing when what my thought process was. I had to hang the phone up. A grandmother should not ever treat their grandson like this, and they should not try and pretend that they don't remember what they did when you know for a fact you remember exactly what you did. The times you tried to kill me, the times you tried to kill my dog. I tried to feel bad for you when that woman beat you up in the parking lot, because I don't think anyone should be subjected to violence. I at least had enough empathy to feel bad because you, an elderly woman, was beat up. But you don't have enough empathy to make me feel better on a day where I'm putting down my child, where I'm going to lose him. I can't hold him and feel his warmth anymore. If I want to hold him, talk to him, I have to hold and talk to a plastic box. Because this is all I have left of my child. Because our animals are our children. Regardless of where you stand on that, these are our children, our little fur babies. And on a day that is really the hardest day of my life, a day that I never wanted to happen, she has the gall to say that I'm killing him and that I'm in the wrong because I have to burn him, because I can't bear to have him buried in a place where I know I'm not going to be forever, because I'm not going to live in this apartment forever. I'm going to move to other places. Sorry that this story time video is more of a rant, but I had to get this off my chest because I can't keep using the typewriter to write about this, because I've written about her half a dozen times already. And I think my ink ribbons are worth more than what she's worth, to be honest. A $24 ribbon covered in ink is worth more than that woman.